No, man. Oh my gosh. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? First overall pick? Amazing drafting in the first round outside of the first overall pick. And now the Islanders get Shabanov. Mathieu Darche. Mathieu Darche, what a guy, man. This guy is just taking win after win after win. The New York Islanders have signed forward Maxim Shabanov to a 1-year entry-level contract. Welcome to New York. But it's not the Rangers. It is the gosh darn Islanders. Now, there was a report from earlier this morning saying that Shabanov was going to New York, and that report specifically said, oh, he's gonna go to the Rangers. NYR is gonna grab this guy to play him with Panarin. And everybody was like, oh, okay, he's going over to New York. But then, psych, it's not the Rangers, it's the Isles, and Mathieu Darche takes this big, fat, stinking W. And I'm now starting to fear him. I am now starting to think that Mathieu Darche is the best thing that could have happened to the Islanders in the year of 2025. Oh my gosh, the Islanders got Shabanov? That's crazy. Absolutely crazy. Bench Rates goes out there and says that Shabanov is a Kirill Kaprizov comparable name. Look at the perks and the ranks. He's in the top 97th percentile or top 3 percentile of KHL regular season point production and all these other really good numbers and how he ranks so highly amongst the rest of the league. What about a playoff run? Ay. Let's see what Rangers fans going out there and talking about. That's gotta hurt for Rangers fans. Yeah, exactly, eh? Let's talk about Maxim Shabanov as written about on the Islanders website, and then, of course, we'll head over to the numbers, and also we kind of need to go over the context too, because a lot of folks might be wondering, oh, why is everybody talking about Shabanov? Who is this guy? New York Islanders have signed forward Maxim Shabanov to a 1-year ELC. He's 24 years old and had averaged over a point per game with 67 points in 65 games last season with Tractor Chelyabinsk of the KHL. He had set career highs in points, assists, and plus-minus. The Chelyabinsk Russia native added 20 points in 21 playoff games, as Tractor advanced to the Gagarin Cup final. He also led the KHL in playoff goals and plus-minus. In 207 career regular season games over parts of 4 seasons with Tractor, Shabanov has scored 150 points, 67 goals, and 83 assists. He has added 31 points in 36 KHL playoff games. On the international stage, Shabanov represented his country at the 2017 Hlinka Gretzky Cup and the 2016 U17 World Hockey Challenge, where he won bronze. Now here's the thing, that goes out there and explains a lot, oh, he produced some points, etc., etc., but to get the full context of Shabanov, you're gonna have to take a look at the overall body of work. This guy's 24, 5'8", 157, so kinda small, but that does not dissuade the fact that he was one of the top point producers in the KHL this most recent season. Only Nikita Gusev and Josh Leivo had more points than Shabanov. And I know, you might be looking at it saying, wait a minute, Josh Leivo? Wasn't that guy, not really too good a few years ago in the National Hockey League? And yeah, that is true. Josh Leivo was an NHL player for a good chunk of time. Maple Leafs, Canucks, Flames, Hurricanes, but then things kind of went a little bit sour for him in the National Hockey League. He was getting sent down, and then he just decided to go over to Russia. He had a really good season here. I think he broke the record for most goals in a KHL season with 49, something like that. Anyways, Shabanov is only behind Leivo and Gusev for KHL points this season. And there was a bidding war going on for this guy that we did make a video about. We had spoken about how Shabanov had interest from Utah, from Toronto, from the Islanders, and then I think there was another team tossed in there. Let me just try to pull it up over here. The Nashville Predators, yeah, they were also interested in Shabanov and his services. So the fact that the Islanders ended up grabbing him, this is just so good. They are getting a guy who can potentially be that next Kirill Kaprizov-like asset. And now, when you think about the New York War, as you talk about Artemi Panarin, Ilya Sorokin, Igor Shesterkin, Maxim Shabanov. There are going to be so many guys battling it out for Russian prosperity in that New York area. In fact, I wanted to go out here and do this. Let's compare Maxim Shabanov to not Artemi Panarin, Kirill Kaprizov. We will do Kaprizov over here. No, not Kirill Kabanov, Kirill Kaprizov. And we will see where the numbers lie. So Maxim Shabanov, in the most recent season's worth of play he was 25 years old. 24, excuse me. So Shabanov had this season. By the time Kaprizov was at the same age range, he was he was doing really well in the National Hockey League. He had a 100-point season that year at 24 years old. But going back to when both of these guys were in the KHL, I mean, Shabanov did have a much later growing curve over here. At 22, Kaprizov was over a point per game with CSKA Moscow. Shabanov was half a point a game with Tractor Chelyabinsk. The previous year, Kaprizov at 21 was already a point-per-game guy, KHL star. Shabanov was barely breaking into the KHL in the first place. So there was a much steeper growth curve for Shabanov and his KHL production, especially around this age range. But that's also why Shabanov was just a free agent signee. He wasn't drafted anywhere. He wasn't taken in any sort of a training camp capacity. He was just there doing his thing, getting better, and inevitably becoming a KHL star. So now he is in the Islanders organization, and he will be bringing some tremendous value as a middle six complementary scorer. I mean, you think about all the names that this team has just added on. You've got some really versatile wingers that can do some damage on the score sheet. Emil Heineman, Simon Holmstrom, Maxim Shabanov. You have Maxim Siplakov as well, which is going to be a super interesting duo to have. I mean, where is that guy, man? You just signed Jonathan Drouin as well. That's a really interesting name to add on over there. Maxim Siplakov, here you go. He needs a contract, so let's just assume that he sticks around. Maxim Shabanov, Maxim Siplakov, there's a lot to like out of Russians in New York. This Islanders team is slowly becoming super dangerous very quickly. And I think it just kind of crept up on all of us that, hey, wait a minute, they have all these names, and they just drafted really well at the draft, and Mathieu Darche signed Drouin, and now there's going to be a lot more to like and cheer for out of a team that finished first overall in the NHL Draft. I say they finished there, they won the draft lottery, they moved up 10 spots to get the pick, but still, this is some really good news for the New York Islanders with Maxim Shabanov heading over to the team. Are we stuck on the Siplakov thing? No, we're not. Why is my Streamlabs frozen here? Let's go back over to the Google Chrome. Shabanov, there we go. I'd been moving the page over and over, but it was stuck on Siplakov. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about the New York Islanders making this contract signing here. Maxim Shabanov has signed on 1 year ELC. It's a prove-it deal if I've ever seen a prove-it deal, but it's one that I like a lot for the Isles. Where do you think Shabanov plays in the lineup? How many points do you think he'll get? Lots of questions, lots of unanswered thoughts that we'll not have the answer to until the start of the season. But what do you think about this? How do you feel? Let me know in the comment section below. I hope you enjoyed this video. Sign on, and bye.